He must have thought he'd seen crazy things in D.C., but nothing could have braced him for this. A sharp, young girl in a crisp gray coat, hair braided neat, marched up to a stranger and asked, "Will you marry my foster father?" No hesitation. The morning light cut across Union Station, shoving Rachel awake just as coffee sizzled on her tongue. That sentence carried through the marble and metal and right through her chest, setting off a buzzing as folks stopped and stared. Rachel blinked, heart snapping back to the bitter pulse of last winter, where her own ring had been returned to its little velvet box, love finished like the last sip of burnt diner brew. Her palms sweated. There was a presence just behind Aaliyah, a man broad-shouldered and silent, his tie perfect, his jaw at an angle that made Rachel's pulse catch. For just a second, their eyes caught, and something charged flickered in the air, not innocent, not safe, not exactly right, but there. Aaliyah's next words spilled out quick, "If he marries someone, they can't take us. I can stay with my sister and brother. My foster dad is good. Please." This was no game. She wasn't asking for love. She was asking for a lifeline, dragging a stranger into deep water with no warning. If you were here, if this was you, could you say yes to a kid desperate for a miracle, in front of a city full of eyes and cameras? Has any stranger changed your life with one question before sunrise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like. Share. This story only works if you see yourself in it. Someone's phone flashed, a red light blinking. Rachel swallowed hard, eyes darting around the crowd, knowing that she had mere seconds to choose. The world, it seemed, was already watching. Just a week earlier, Rachel's world was much more predictable, a row house in Baltimore that felt a little emptier every day she didn't leave for work. Unemployment checks came slow. The fridge hummed at night. Friends, lovers, all faded, except for that last messy text from Chris, half flirt, half goodbye, midnight glow on her phone screen, nothing truly settled. Saturday, late, she sat in her usual corner at Tony's Cafe, hunched over cold eggs. The barista brought her a pastry and an odd look. A message pinged her inbox from an unknown sender, "Meet me at Union Station Monday, 7:08 a.m. Everything could change. Nothing else. She laughed out loud, but the idea wouldn't let her go. Walking home, Baltimore was stubbornly itself. Sidewalks cracked, buses loud, the scent of rain on brick. The next morning, Rachel watched the city rub sleep from its eyes, clouds fighting sunlight in the sky. At the station, marble floors spread underfoot, polished to a dull shine, voices bouncing in every direction. Her hands cramped as she clutched her phone. She scrolled to the old messages, reread Chris's goodbye, felt that quiet spark of regret. A train slid to a halt. The air tasted sharp, full of caffeine and warnings. She had 1 week. 7 days to make a decision. To leap, or let it go. In the glass window, as she went to board, she caught the corner of a smile, watching, waiting, curious and sharp. She shivered, not certain if it belonged in her memories or if the story was already getting ahead of her. The house in Chevy Chase looked like it had everything: wide lawn, fancy car out front, even a dog that did tricks on command. But inside, quiet ruled. Aaliyah's room, walls lined with paperbacks, sat at the top of a long, shadowy staircase. She watched the sun sink from her window, counting breaths, counting time. Leon entered, moving with the kind of quiet you only get after years of learning how to not be noticed. He was careful, holding himself back, always just out of reach. A man who used to build things for the world, now just trying to stop the world from breaking what he loved. Rachel left Aaliyah's room, her head spinning. As she moved to the front door, their hands brushed, warm skin, a flash of something dangerous. Curiosity knotted inside her. It wasn't just about love. Aaliyah spelled it out: "If my dad doesn't have someone, social services will split us up. They'll send me and Daniel to different homes." There was a ticking clock. By Friday, officials would decide if Aaliyah and her siblings stayed, or disappeared into new families. Rachel looked around, gleaming kitchen, but no laughter. She didn't trust Leon. She didn't even trust herself. But she couldn't walk away, not after looking Aaliyah in the eyes. That night, Leon poured whiskey into 2 glasses. His voice low, "If you're going to save my family, there can be no lies between us." Rachel nodded, heart drumming out a new kind of fear. Rachel spun into a different life overnight. She swapped jeans for a clutch and heels, sat at Leon's side in a glossy Georgetown bistro where waitstaff hovered like spies. Every move mattered. Their table setting sparkled. Across from her sat a woman with a knowing stare. Later, she'd learned the social worker was undercover. The meal stretched nerves to breaking. Under the crisp white tablecloth, Rachel's foot found Leon's, unintentionally. He didn't move, heat running up her leg. Her cheeks glowed. He answered questions with calm, but tension built. The questions sharpened, a pointed, "How did you two meet?" hung in the air. Rachel swallowed, invented a story about missed flights, crowded airports, the electricity of chance. Leon played along, his hand steady on hers. A toast clanged. Glasses met. Forced to seal the story, Rachel felt Leon's mouth brush her cheek, lips just a strand away from hers. Her heart boomed. She saw the caseworker watching. Could you fake love to save a child's world? Most people say they would. Fewer can follow through. If you've ever hidden the truth to shield someone, hit that like. Drop a comment if you've ever kissed someone for all the wrong reasons. After the plates cleared, Leon leaned in. You're not the first person who's tried to save me, Rachel, and it never ends well. Aaliyah fell asleep after pretending to read. The house grew smaller, shadows drifting. In the kitchen, Rachel poured tea, hands shaking. Leon appeared, unguarded. The walls between them dropped an inch. He told the story in short pieces: betrayal by a friend, public humiliation, the cold years that followed. He closed his eyes, reliving every awful minute. Rachel shared her own shattered dreams, engagements that fizzled, men who left, one who took too much and gave back little. Words came in gasps, like wind through a cracked window. A tiny flame flickered between them. Fingers touched hair first, gentle, apologetic. Then a whisper. Mouths met, hungry, honest, the relief of no more hiding. She pulled away but he followed, just for a breath, letting himself want, letting her take up space. They pulled apart, both a little lost, a lot exposed, afraid to look at each other. The plan, keep up appearances, save the kids, demanded more honesty than either expected. Rachel's phone buzzed, cutting the quiet. The screen glowed with a name from Baltimore, one she tried to forget. The message: saw you on the video. Call me now. The story was already moving too fast to stop. Baltimore rain can hit fast. Tonight, it comes hard, thunder shakes the windows, and Rachel finds herself stuck in Leon's townhouse just as streetlights blink off. Aaliyah is already in pajamas, clutching her stuffed bear, watching grown-ups make nervous jokes about outages. Between flashes of lightning, Rachel and Leon fumble for candles, their bodies close, the air thick. Her shirt soaked through, sticking to skin, Leon hands her a towel, fingers lingering on her wrist, eyes locked. She doesn't pull away. In the dim kitchen light, she slips out of her wet top, feeling raw and exposed. Leon turns, but his hand trails across her back, slow enough to make her shiver. They stand there, breath rising between them, blanket wrapped around both shoulders. This isn't safety, this is recognition. Aaliyah listens from the hall, catching bits of tense talk, Leon's voice rising, Rachel asking pointed questions, a name from the past dropped. It's not clear which adult is hiding more. Just as they settle in silence, a knock slices through the moment. A stranger stands in the rain with a briefcase, flashing city credentials. Surprise inspection, he says. Nobody breathes. The morning after is tense. Leon barely touches his coffee. Rachel sits next to Aaliyah, who won't let go of her bear. Breakfast conversation is stiff, but the house soon fills with another visitor, Leon's business partner from California, Mark, who strides in with a forced smile. He wants to talk, but it's no friendly chat. Mark brings up old allegations, raising questions about Leon's ability to foster kids. Lawyer talk makes Rachel's stomach flip. Aaliyah catches every word, her smile disappearing. That night, Rachel seeks out Leon in his wine cellar, clutching a flashlight. The space is tight, bottles lining the wall, air heavy with memories. Leon breaks down, showing a side Rachel's only glimpsed. He admits failures, blames himself for too much, pauses as she reaches for his hand. Their faces are inches apart, voices quieter as secrets spill. Their breath mingles, tension melting into comfort, lips finally trace line of jaw before pulling away. Not innocent, but necessary. As Rachel heads upstairs, she spots a folder under Leon's door. It's marked, "How well do you know the woman living in your house?" She doesn't open it yet, but her heart beats faster, scared of what's next. Virginia vines roll out green under a late summer sky. The family event is all for show, a group picture for city officials, brunch on a patio where everyone watches and judges. Rachel's dress is borrowed, Leon's shirt pressed, Aaliyah stands tall but nervous. Just as Rachel helps set up, she spots Martin, her ex from Baltimore, slinking through the crowd with a spiteful grin. He corners her by the grape trellis, threatening to blow up her story. Rachel shakes, finds Leon, latches onto his arm. Leon senses the danger, leading her into a slow dance beneath white lanterns. His hand slides up her waist, gentle but possessive. She lets herself fall into his touch, the tension sharper than any fight. During the dance, Rachel spills her insecurities, voice trembling in Leon's ear. She wishes she was stronger, admits to shame she never told anyone before. As the sun dips, someone at the party films them, post goes viral fast. Now strangers online ask cruel questions: is this a real couple, or just a scam? The world weighs in, but the truth stays quiet. Rachel walks under the stone columns, the city at her back. The memorial is colder than she remembers. Martin's post made the rounds and Leon saw it. The confrontation hits hard. Leon shouts, Rachel fires back, both too stubborn to open up all the way. People pass by, pretending not to hear. They find themselves pressed against a pillar, voices low, anger giving way to something desperate. Rachel grabs Leon's collar, pulls him into a kiss that's all fight, passion-hungry, lips bruising as they try to forget everything but each other. She steps back, breathless, heart aching. They don't stay together, she walks off. Silence is louder than any shout. Aaliyah's gone. Rachel doesn't see her at the memorial and panic sets in. Scratched onto the stone is a message, gone to where I can't hurt anyone. Now, finding her is everything. It's nearly over. Friday is the foster care hearing. Leon's nerves show in snapped pencils, Rachel makes phone calls with shaking hands. Their search for Aaliyah stretches late. When her voice finally answers, relief drops them both to the floor. They crash in a hotel room, too tired to think, too raw to resist. Clothes fall away easy this time. Rachel reaches for Leon, guides him down by her side. They don't say much. Their bodies talk instead, holding each other closer as the fear and longing melt. When they finally sleep, it's tangled limbs, jammed heartbeats. As the sun climbs, Leon sits up, eyes red. He tells Rachel his truth, his company, his years of work, all built on one secret deal. Nothing illegal, but it led to disaster years back. Rachel listens, wonders how much she can forgive. Her phone pings. A message, meet me where the story began. The last test waits, Union Station at dawn. Baltimore courthouse is cold by sunrise. Rachel walks beside Leon, her palms sweating despite everything. Aaliyah is with her caseworker in another room. Reporters hover by the steps. Inside, the judge's voice never rises, but every word weighs heavy. Leon's past is dragged into the open, old accusations spelled out, doubts about the business, troubles nobody seems to forget. Rachel sits 2 rows behind, eyes locked on Leon. She hates the whispers, the looks, the fact that the truth is only half told in rooms like this. When it's her turn, she's asked about her relationship. She answers with simple sentences, heart-thumping. Her hands find Leon's in the stairwell during the lunch break, his thumb circles her palm, silent support. For one stolen minute, they rest their foreheads together, breath mixing. A kiss, quick, clandestine, fades into whispered promises. Back in the courtroom, Leon stands up and speaks on himself. He admits mistakes, says he's different now. The risk is clear. If they take Aaliyah away, there might not be a way back. The judge postpones a decision, tells them to come back tomorrow. Uncertainty claws at every step they take toward the exit. Rachel is restless all night, checking her phone, scrolling through angry and supportive comments on Aaliyah's video. The clips everywhere, Aaliyah's voice pleading for her family, for Leon, for Rachel. "Don't split us up," she says. "He's the only dad I've ever had." The video spins into the news, and neighbors, teachers, even strangers start calling City Hall. Rachel gets up early, goes to Leon, tells him it's time to fight back. They show up at City Hall, Aaliyah's words ringing in their ears, heads held high among the crowd. At noon, they retreat to Leon's car in the parking lot. Tension builds until Rachel grabs his face, pulls him close, her lips hot, hands desperate. He returns her energy, kisses deep, hands lost in her hair, the adrenaline making them bolder than usual. The judge catches wind of the rally. Rumors swirl, maybe things will swing their way. But as Rachel checks her phone again, a new problem erupts. A whistleblower claims there's a mistake in the adoption paperwork. The fight isn't over. Rachel knows losing hope is a luxury they can't afford. Night falls with all 3 together in Leon's townhouse. Aaliyah is quiet, picking at her dinner. Rachel sits on the couch, chewing over old pain. Gathering courage, Rachel admits the secrets she's hidden, childhood, regrets, broken relationships. She tells them everything, lets herself break open. Leon listens, jaw tense, finally reaching for her with both hands. Candlelight paints the room in gold. Rachel and Leon move slowly, fingers brushing, words heavy, tears spilling over. On the floor, they make love for comfort, for forgiveness, for the hope they can move forward as a family that found each other, not just by law but by love. Aaliyah speaks softly, revealing that she knows about Leon's business deal, that she's never blamed him for the mistakes adults made. Just as comfort settles, the doorbell rings. Leon's brother, Peter, stands in the hall, wearing a suit that doesn't hide old resentments. He announces his plan to contest guardianship. The air stiffens. The fight is on. Peter's arrival changes everything. Heat rises in every room, old family quarrels, wounds, blame. Rachel is the bridge, pushing both men to be honest. The arguments roar, but Aaliyah's cry brings quiet. "I just want a family that chooses me," she says, tears running down her cheeks. Leon faces Peter, admits his wrongs, refuses to back down. Rachel stands by him, vowing not to run, not to hide. After hours of talking, anger fades into tired apology. Peter, moved by Aaliyah's strength, offers what nobody could expect: he'll testify on Leon's behalf, give the court what it needs to keep the family together. Late that night, peace finds Rachel and Leon at last. On their bedroom floor, laughter and tears blur into touch, soft, slow, a union built on faith not desperation. Hands explore, promises are spoken just above whispers. Love is chosen. Dawn glows at the edge of the curtains. Courtroom is solemn, a final chance for this family to stand together. The judge reviews Peter's statement, Aaliyah's plea, the viral video. The decision lands: Aaliyah will stay with Leon. Rachel lets out a shaking breath, hugs Aaliyah tight. Leon squeezes her shoulder, the first real smile anyone has seen in weeks. Dinner that night is simple: spaghetti, garlic bread, laughter. Aaliyah falls asleep on the couch, her hand clutching Rachel's. Leon and Rachel retreat to the bedroom, bone-tired but happy. She sinks into his arms, they make love quietly, ordinary, every touch a promise to start fresh. "We're here," Leon says. "Really here." Before sleep takes Rachel, she thinks about Union Station, the impossible question, the crowd, the phone light. Life chose her, not with a fairy tale, just with heart and grit and second chances. If you finished this journey, what would you risk for a family that needs you? Would you fight, even when the odds are ugly? Drop your thoughts below, hit subscribe, there's always another story to tell. Family is built every day, in every choice. Rachel and Leon walk past the trains, united. They know now, you never stop choosing each other.